Hi, folks. Thank you so much for joining us here after the premiere. I hope that uh, many of you have made it here from the premiere. I see we've only got a couple of people with us right now. Were you guys part of the premiere? Were you there for the story? Uh, and here's a good question: Is Beth here? Ms. Vicky, thank you for joining us, Ms. Vicky. I appreciate you being here. And everyone else. I'm Glenn Muse, just like it says there. Orangutan. Yeah. Am I saying that right? Your name looks new. I don't think we've seen your name here before. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you being here. Who's coming here from the premiere? Many people coming here from the premiere. There is Beth. Beth has group in 5 minutes. Of course, Beth is always busy. Beth has uh, there is no flies on Beth. Uh, sorry about the doorbell. I can't do anything about that. Come in. So so Beth has group in 5 minutes. What kind of group is it, Beth? Can you tell us that? Standard outpatient substance abuse group. Thank you for sharing. Beth has always got stuff going on. It seems like right? Beth was instrumental in getting us to Arizona. Sorry. Anyway, thank you for joining us. What was I saying? Beth was instrumental in getting us to Arizona to shoot stories in Arizona, and I want to say that we shot. Hey, maybe I was yelling at someone else in the house. Yeah, not the house. Yelling at someone else here at Texas Pictures World headquarters. Doesn't have to have been Sherry that I was yelling at. I'm just saying. Anyway, is the storyteller with us? Yes, Arizona families fighting illicit drugs is, in fact, the storyteller. It is. That's Beth, but she's got to leave in a couple of minutes because she's got a group that she's running. Hello, Mary. Thank you for joining us here. I hope things are going well with you. I appreciate you being here. I'm going to show it to my group tonight. Holy cow, Beth, that's too cool. We could have, I don't know, we could have made the premiere happen in group. But anyway, wow, we would, uh, we'd love to hear how it goes over with the group. We also have a story on our channel. If I can find it, we have. Yeah, there you go with those acronyms again. My IOP and cannabis group. Okay. Oh, okay. We have a cannabis related story inquiry from Colorado that I thought I might talk to you guys about. But let me sort this out first. I want to find we have we do have a story on our channel that's focused entirely on siblings, cousins, and friends. And it's a story that we made uh, would have been over a year ago, but it's one of those things where in the course of learning about all of the different issues that fentanyl families have to deal with, one of the kind of forgotten grievers is siblings, cousins, and friends. And so on our channel, we have a video called Siblings, Cousins, and Friends. We published it. Well, it's where it showed me a minute ago. I'm looking. Just give me a second. I don't have a staff, you know, because they quit. Yeah, that's it. Here at Texas Pictures World Headquarters. Okay. October 25th, 2023 is when we published this story, and it's called Siblings, Cousins, and Friends. And it's really just excerpts from stories that we produced where a sibling or cousin or friend participates in the story in some kind of way. So here is a link to that story right there. That's the link to the story on YouTube, and I'm going to say it features 6 or 7 storytellers that are in other stories in the series, but this is just about the perspective from non-parents, from relatives, siblings, and cousins. There's also some friends. And anyway, so Lorraine, thank you for joining us. I'll let you rest after group. I have to get the group. All right, Beth, you're a badass. Thank you for joining us. That's the way to go, Brenda. So a few of you, I recognize a couple of names in the group from those that are chatting right now, who are members who watch the special access, temporary, work in progress glimpse of the news story about domestic violence. And Brenda, I know you made some comments, and I really appreciate those. And a couple of you others also made comments, and I'm very, very grateful for the input, because this is a new topic for us. And so we really we want to start off with everything lined up just as ideal as we can make it, so that the message is effective and on target. Your older warrior, I could see in the video, and it was so like my big sister who died 26 years clean and sober. Very sorry. Furry's here. Furry critter something. What is it? Furry Lives Matter. That's it. Thank you for joining us again. It's always cool to see you here. Appreciate you being here. Showing us your dogs. There was a glimpse of one dog in the story, if that's what you're talking about. Kelly Makeley, thank you for joining us from San Diego. We've had a couple of inquiries from people about wanting to share their story from the San Diego area and Los Angeles area. And I believe we're likely to wind up out there sometime later this year, recording interviews, recording stories for our channel. Interesting. Abusers often harm animals to break us. I do know that the storyteller in the story we've been working on talks about how important her animals were to her, but she never made any mention of her animals being abused. But she did point out that her dog bit her abuser at one point. Well, thank you for sharing, Mary. Appreciate your openness. I think it's wonderful the way this group comes together after a premiere or whenever, and how everybody in the group really opens up, shares, kind of helps each other. It's much seems a lot like going to a meeting, being everybody being supportive of each other. That's wonderful. Of course, we always want to see it grow. We want to see more people join us and be a part of this. Shoneen, maybe in the future we will kick stigma to the curb. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Stigma is a wicked thing, and it would be awesome to put it behind us. But that's a pretty tall order. Stigma is a real thing with all kinds of stuff. It seems like a human nature thing. I'm not saying it's right, but there's all kind of stigma. There's a stigma to someone who wears a necktie all the time. There's a stigma to someone who dresses down all the time. There's maybe not so much anymore, but for a long time there was a stigma to someone who had a bunch of tattoos. I don't know. Maybe there is. Brenda, I don't know what I missed. It's me. I only do large things. Yeah. Okay. So that stigma thing has the same kind of prevalence as peer pressure. And if you think about peer pressure is far, far more far reaching than I think people realize there is peer pressure in all kinds of things. There's peer pressure when you're sitting with a group of your friends in a restaurant and you really want to order that cheesecake, but everybody else is having fruit cups for dessert. And so you get the fruit cup. That's given into peer pressure too. Or you dress a certain way, or you handle your job responsibilities a certain way. All of those things can be peer pressure the same way. Okay, sorry, let me catch up with the questions here. Please hit the like button. Thank you, Mary. It's always good to hit the like button. I don't know where we're at I'm looking at the wrong window here because I'm not paying attention. Right? Oh no, I'm not. I don't. Oh yeah, we got 8 likes. In my past, stigma kept me quiet, but as time it was gone, I will tell anyone any part of my story to save one person. You got to be saving more than one person. We hear that a lot. We hear that from a lot of storytellers who say that if sharing their story will just save one life. And surely they save one life. They probably save a lot more than one life. And it's okay to embrace that. Majority of them were seeking illegal drugs. Some got caught, some didn't. Myself got caught didn't mean less important. Yes, for sure. Lorraine, I refuse to give up on her. Everyone else has. I can't do it, but I have to find her. Lorraine, okay, I'm behind. Lorraine, did I miss something? You have to find her. I can tell you this about going live. This would be interesting. It'd be nice to be able to cut to a commercial now and then. Because this is empty. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry, Lorraine. Where are you at? I'm, if, I'm sure you told me. I don't remember. I've been hearing a lot about people that are missing lately, like a sudden spike. Oh, thanks, Pat. I don't think that's going to help me very much, but thanks. Good, good, good that you're there for me in spirit. Uh, Taskmaster Lorraine calling my daughter relapsed yet again, and I can't find her. I thought about doing so. We have a neighbor whose son is missing today. Or was. Coffee. Gotta be coffee, right, Pat? Shame makes them run. Southern pecan. So we have a blend here called Texas pecan. I bet it's pretty similar. The cops are tired of me. Yeah, yeah. Okay, Brenda's right. Lorraine, the cops are tired of you. That doesn't matter at all. Their job is their job. And their job is at will. If they don't like it, they can quit. That is not an outrageous concept. It's a job. You're not a hero for taking a job where you're well paid and you have nice benefits and you have a nice retirement program. There are very few jobs out there that offer retirement packages now, but cops typically get them. So if they're tired of you, that's their problem. We see it a lot in the stories that we report, the stories that we do interviews with, where the key thing to getting results out of law enforcement is being a pain, is being persistent in how you approach the investigating agency and just hammer on them until they get some results. And if they just shut your case down, go to the next agency up. If they are a local municipality, a sheriff's office, or or a police department, go to the state police, go to the Department of Public Safety or the state troopers or whatever they're called in your state. And if that doesn't work, go to the DEA, go to the FBI. They will make things happen if you're a big enough pain in their butt. But you sometimes have to do that. And I can say that they don't have the resources and that they're overworked and they're underfunded and they're short-handed and they don't have the resources. But they've always said that. They said that 40 years ago. They said that 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago. There's never been a time when law enforcement agencies didn't say those things, because that's the only way that the agencies can get increases to their budget, increases to their staff, increases to overtime. They have to say that. Hello, Tara. Thanks for joining us. Glad you're here. I agree with Brenda. Glad you're here. My son went to jail, got out, relapsed, and was gone in 3 days. I won't let them bash my addicted angel. He matters too. So we're working on some content for a local agency here in the Houston area about the likelihood of relapse and how the likelihood goes way up in terms of overdose after people have had some detox time in custody, whether in jail or prison. When they get out, there's a natural urge to celebrate some kind of way. And they go back to that and they go back to that same dose that they were using before they went into custody, to prison or jail. And they've had some detox time, so they don't have that resistance built up that they did when they went in. And the dose that would get them where they wanted to be before they went into custody is lethal when they get out. And there's agencies that are working with us because it's important to them to let prisoners know the risk, which says something really good about law enforcement agencies. Kelly, you ask, is this group for fentanyl poisoning? Okay, yeah. Maybe the better way to say it is this group is about fentanyl poisoning. For fentanyl poisoning doesn't sound quite right to me, but maybe that's just me. Brenda says coffee makes my mouth hot and yucky, but love to smell coffee. Yes, Taskmaster, they are a real problem. The HIDTA, the High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area Program in Houston and surrounding areas. The people there tell us that the odds of overdosing after being released jump up 125%. So that's substantial. Kelly, what else can we tell you? Do you have other questions for us, Kelly? Tara, happy for you to be here too. Appreciate you joining us. Don't be sorry for joining late. But yes, those relapse overdoses are they're a giant problem. That there's so many stories in our series where the victim the victim had a good run at being clean, had a good clean period, and then had some sort of relapse, and that's when the victim lost his or her life. Lorraine, you're not alone. You guys are not alone. You guys, so many of you usual suspects uh, show up here consistently, and I'm very grateful for that. I felt I didn't belong in this group at first, but you guys loved me anyway. Well, yeah, of course you belong. Taking a lower dose after a detox can also be lethal. Kelson went MIA twice after he was released to celebrate, and 6 months later he was gone. Very sorry, Tara. Yeah, even a lesser dose. It has to be like a not that there is any good dose, and there is certainly no safe dose for fentanyl because there's no telling. Fentanyl is an illicit substance. This is not pharmaceutical fentanyl. This is illegal. It is counterfeit drugs. It is there's no telling that there's no way to measure a dose effectively. And so thinking, well, I was doing half a pill before I went through detox. So if I do a quarter pill, no, because there's no telling from pill to pill what the dose is in half a pill or a quarter of a pill. You can't know. The thing that DEA and harm reduction people and other law enforcement tell us is about the chocolate chip cookie effect, where a large concentration of fentanyl can be in one half of the pill and virtually none in the other half. It's just not even. Tara, I am so sorry. Glenn is correct. In pill or powder, it is fentanyl roulette. Yeah, it is. Except it's more like having 2 or 3 rounds in the gun instead of just one. Because more than half the illicit pills on the market have fentanyl in them. We hear a lot of different numbers from DEA and CDC and other sources, but to say more than half, that's for sure accurate. DEA has said 8 out of 10 pills, and DEA has said 7 out of 10 pills. I believe they've lowered it to 6 out of 10 pills, but to say more than half, that's a safe bet. More than half have fentanyl, regardless of what kind of pill it looks like. Kara, I'm so sorry. Yeah, okay. Brenda, I felt that way about 12 step groups. They can be very clicky, cliche. Yeah, yeah. I went to school. I know how to read. They can be very cliche. I refused to play that game and would be obstinate, but I found a group that accepted me for who I was anyway, meaning a group that accepted you for being obstinate. Is that what you're saying? Because there's groups out there that will, for sure. There's groups out there that will outdo your obstinate behavior with more obstinate behavior, and it'll turn into an entertaining time. There's always help out there. Pat, my son told me that he had gotten clean and had been clean for 4 years. A few months later, he was found in his room deceased. So, was he clean for 4 years? Was he lying? I have no idea. You know, Pat, it kind of seems like that's one of those circumstances where you can sort of just embrace the truth that suits you, believe what makes you feel better, and hold on to that. So it can be true. Even if he was lying, no doubt he dearly wanted it to be true. And there's that. Pat, people do relapse after years in recovery. I've seen it happen many times. Yeah, they certainly do. Task that is great is hard on a group when a newcomer walks in because of so few of us return. Yeah. I want to say to the moms here, the way this drug entered our angel system may be very different, but the outcome is the same. We need to support each other. Holy cow, Tara. Bingo. That right there. That right. How do I put stars on that? Is there a way can I do that? Look, I can do the heart thing, I can do the 100% thing. You're definitely on target. Doesn't matter. Your loved one's gone. Supporting each other, nothing but good comes from being supportive of each other. Nothing but good. It's nothing like I see this now and then, sometimes among different fentanyl groups where there's some disagreement because one side feels like it's different when the victims are younger, when they're high school age, than when they're in their 30s or 40s. And there's differences, but that doesn't make the loss different. It's still losing a family member early, unexpectedly. There is no high score to that. And occasionally I've seen a couple of people get kind of petty, but it's important to recognize that's how they deal with grief. No, nobody nobody expects to be in this spot where they're having to deal with losing a loved one in such a terrible way at such a young age. And so how they deal with it, sometimes it's going to be, a little bit weird, a little bit difficult, a little bit angry, a little bit immature. You just gotta love them through it. Even the ones that seem crazy. Brenda, you don't know that maybe he was not lying and he was clean for 4 years. People will relapse right after they tell you how happy and healthy they are, that they never want to go back. Yes, that's a thing. Taskmaster, yes, that's a definite thing. There is something dangerous. It's yeah, I think it's the same thing as when someone who has been dieting is told, "Wow, you look good. Look like you've really lost some weight." Suddenly, they have a craving to have some Oreos or go to a buffet or whatever. I think it's really the same kind of thing. Brenda says, "Tara, yes, we do. This is why I felt bad in the beginning. I was a junkie, and the innocence of these angels just tore me apart. It was this group, not judging, helped me to understand my 2 cents is okay." Gosh, Brenda, your 2 cents is more than okay. It's vital that, you know, saying I was a junkie and the innocence of these good angels. So, I'm sure you know that saying I was a junkie, that's sort of what George Orwell would call an unword to say junkie. But some of these stories, some of these young stories were in exactly the same spot at an earlier age. And what might be difficult for some parents is that your experience makes clear that they're missing something about their loved one's experience, maybe. Act with love or not at all. Demure Dior. I guess there's a chance that I did that right. I be sobering 4 years now. Well, good job. That's awesome. That is that's important. Now, don't relapse is always a threat. It's so important to have groups, not necessarily this group, but any group. It's important, vital to have people that you're accountable to and people that can be accountable to you, to where your sobriety can help someone who's struggling maintain their sobriety. Okay, I had points I wanted to make here. Let me see. This is why I feel better at the beginning as a junkie and this anxiety help me understand. So, comment with love or not at all. There's what is it? There's an expression. Is it accurate? Is it constructive? And is it necessary? That's supposed to be the three filters that anything that you say should pass through. Now, I think that maybe just two out of those three is enough. If it's accurate and it's constructive, then it must be necessary, right? Anyway, so yeah, Demure, good job, awesome job, awesome job. Don't apologize to me, Brenda. Not necessary. I think I really understood what you're saying. I think. Thank you for saying it. Very good, Pat. I only use junkie, addict, clean to refer to myself. Everyone is an angel. Uh, yeah, here's what I find about Brenda. Here's what I find about the words like junkie and addict is people who work with junkies and addicts don't like the terms junkies and addicts. But people in addiction or fighting addiction or in recovery, they don't tend to have any problem with those words at all. That's been my experience. I go to groups and I watch your YouTube too. Thank you, Nicolette Dior. Okay, Nicolette. Thank you, Nicolette. Appreciate you watching. Yeah, the groups are a big deal. Groups can help. It's because of that accountability and obligation to be accountable, obligation to let others be accountable to you. The groups are very effective for a lot of people. Show, I'm sorry this happened to you. Maybe we can start to show the world we all have feelings. I think we're kind of doing that, aren't we? Just right here, right now, talking with each other, sharing openly. What is so cool about reading these text comments is that over and over I see these repeating themes where very often very often you guys will say things to each other where you're not particularly specific, yet you guys get it. I don't know if I'm saying that very well, but there's a kind of just a connection, a bond where you don't have to go deep into the specifics of what the suffering of addiction is all about to connect with each other and talk about it. That's impressive. And I just sit here and ramble, but grateful to you guys and how cool it is to see that happen. It's really really awesome. Okay, so I be around families. I pray God every night. That's right, Nicolette. That works. There's a lot of strength in that. Show, I'm sorry this happened to you. Maybe we can start to show the world we all have feelings. Yes. Brenda, sharing your journey is very important to people to help people understand addiction and what some of our children went through. Sharing your story, I believe, is an important thing all the time. Sharing your story is it's part of being it's like being part of the village. It's part of being human about contributing as a human so that we all help each other grow. Everyone grows when someone shares an experience. Everyone grows when someone shares a story. Everyone grows when someone opens up. We never know what anyone went through to get to where they are now. I always look at people struggling with addiction and I look at them and think that's somebody's child. Well, yeah, somebody's child and maybe someone's parent, someone's friend, someone cares about. someone we should all care about. There is no, you can't filter how you care about someone based on what their contributions are at the moment. Tanya, wait, okay. I'm so far behind. I saw a Carla a minute ago. Carla, do I know you? We never know what anyone went through to get where they are. I always look at people struggling with addiction and I look at them and think that's someone's child. Yes, Carla, thanks for sharing. I'm hoping all the haters will spew their spit to me and leave others alone. And no way I am using substance use disorder. I don't have enough time for that moniker. Substance use disorder. What is that? What is that? Like 6 or 7 syllables? Addict. There's no judgment in the term addict. It's not derogatory. I don't think. I saw this. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story. I saw this presentation by a guy who's talking about, he's giving a presentation about how to administer naloxone. And the actual, the way to administer naloxone, that whole presentation is 2 or 3 minutes. And so the rest of the hour he had to spend talking about medical things and like the whole opioid receptors in your brain and how naloxone comes in and knocks them all of that trivial stuff that doesn't really matter in terms of how to administer it. Nobody talks about specifics about what a bullet does when you get shot, about how it goes inside your body and what it tears and but they have time to fill. So anyway, he's talking about this and so he's talking about, he goes through this list and he says people suffering from substance use disorder, people suffering from mental health issues, people suffering from incarceration. And, okay, people suffering from incarceration. What does that mean? People suffering from incarceration. It just sounds so. It just sounds stupid, right? I'm not crazy, right? It sounds stupid. Anyway, okay, I digress. All the haters. Okay, the haters are people's children too. There's that. The best response to a hater is nothing. Maybe just a smile and know that you know better and embrace that. Nicolette, hi. I loved going to group. Yeah, the group thing is awesome. The only way we're going to make change is to talk about the progression of addiction. Our stories need to be told together. Xiaoning, how do we do that? We could do something just like this, except do it on like Google Meet, and we could have a whole panel of windows of all of you guys in the group together and all of you sharing. We could do it to where it isn't live, but like a meeting. Record the whole thing and then publish it on our channel and give others the chance to see how everybody interacts with each other. I feel like it wouldn't be likely to get a lot of attention It wouldn't be likely to get a lot of views, but it would be likely to get views from people who would really benefit from it. So it may only get a few hundred views, but what if two or three of those people start start attending meetings because of it, or find other kind of groups to participate with? I could certainly see that happening. So we could do that. The catch is we, as in, let's see, I don't know, at least five of us, five or nine or whatever, need to come together and have this Google Meet kind of call. It's like a Zoom thing, same kind of thing as a Zoom call, and have this dialogue and let other people see how it works. But we can do that. We can make that happen. But you guys got to act on it. All right, so Shawnee, Tanya, a few days clean, and that's amazing. You got a few days clean, and it's amazing. It is amazing. A few days clean is substantial. You're at that point where you can just say, okay. You don't have to say, I'm never going to do it again. You can just say, I'm not going to do it today. And then just keep saying, I'm not going to do it today. And then the next day, say it again. I'm not going to do it today. And just keep doing that. And before you know it, you'll have a year behind you, or 2 years, or 5 years, or whatever. When a day is too long, 5 or 10 minutes can be achieved. That's true too. Good job, Brenda. Where am I? Where am I? Congratulations, Shoneen Hall. Oh, yes, I used to battle for another 5 minutes clean quite often in the early days and even later on. But you used to. So it's better now, right, Taskmaster? Is that what you're saying? Easier is not the right word, but better. Better seems like the right word because you feel different. You feel better, more alive. Right? All right. During detox, I swore clocks were broken. Okay. Yeah, I've heard that before. I have heard that before, and that is rough. Oh, yes. I used to battle for another 5 minutes, clean right off in the early days. Yes, yes. Oh, okay. Carla, Brenda Miller, it's going to be the education Senate committee and then to the House for a final vote. And I pray it passes. This is so important. Good. Carla? What? What I miss, Carla? It's going to the education Senate. Carla? 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 Is that you? Hey, look, I see Brad. Brad, the Navy guy. Yeah. Thanks for your service. Navy still counts. So, Nicolette Dior, outgoing groups are Carla, Brenda, thank you for following along. Brenda, Carla, if I need to go to the Capitol, put some change, let me know. See, you guys are awesome. You Oklahoma people. Holy cow. Carla, if I need to go to, yeah. Oklahoma, Kansas, all that good. Oh, stop it. I'm Brad. Brad. Such a good guy, Brad. I'm so glad you're here. I think it's awesome that you're here. I want to start educating kids about fentanyl and drugs. Yes, we all do, Nicolette. And there's a lot of ways to do that. I'm a part of an organization called Fentanyl Fathers, and they're a great national organization. And there's other organizations out there that are also great. And there's tons of opportunities to contribute. And some make it really easy to do the part to do the contribution to help increase awareness without having to worry about the other part, the administration. And that's kind of a big deal. Carla, I met your dad in one of these chats and learned of Rain's Law. Before I retired, I worked at the Capitol for 25 years. Yeah, I met Brad. I met Brad at a kind of like a chat, except it was in person. And then, anyway, Shonan Hall, I have my son in schools here now, working on talking so hard not to fall apart. Shonin, there's a thing that falling apart a little bit is part of it. I mean, I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, but that's the reality. You're sharing from your heart. If people want to judge and hate, they can keep walking. Glass houses. Yeah, people who judge and hate, they're not worth that much energy, but it's just where they're at now. You know, we all evolve our whole lives. We all evolve. There's things that make sense to us now at whatever age we're at now that may not have made sense to us 20 years ago or even 10 years ago because we evolve. And so the haters and the whatever the others were, they're going to be they're going to be growing too. Maybe you're just ahead of them. If people want to judge and hate, that's it. The judgy people. Yeah. Don't let other smallness stop you from honoring your son. That's right, Tara. That's right. My voice is going pretty quick. Glenn, do you think when other mothers that judge and create hurt is a deflection? Yeah, it can be for some. It gets really tricky. That some of the stories that we have, the victim can also be in that category of villain. Sometimes the victim was also a dealer. Uh, People who become dealers oftentimes are just trying to support their habit, that they're just trying to get by, and it's what they know. Oh, let's see. So, Shawnee, I listen to the mean mom's stories that shun my son and I cry. All different stories are different, but we're all here for the same reason. I think that's a thing. All here for the same reason. That it's the same reason, the same loss. And I think sometimes there's some people, not that I have anyone in mind. I I love our storytellers. We're still connected to virtually all of them, and they are wonderful, giving, generous people. But I think that there's sometimes someone who lost a family member to fentanyl or whatever else, they'll they'll kind of, when they see someone else who has the same kind of loss, and there's something about that other person that they find distasteful or uncomfortable or ugly, that it could be because that other person shows themselves something that they're uncomfortable about regarding themselves. I'm not I'm not I'm not sure I made sense with that, but I know what I was trying to say. Let me catch up. I listen to the mean mom stories, some my son cry. Yeah, yeah. Anyone who wants to go to the San Diego border and protest with me, don't know how long we would last though. Kelly McKaylee, San Diego border and protest what? Are you protesting smuggling, cartels, immigration, just trying to bring awareness? What's the goal there? Oh my gosh. Tara, it can also be transference. Yeah, Brenda, I was kind of sort of saying something a little like that. The government is to blame for the addiction crisis that's fueling the fentanyl crisis. Hmm. I don't know. Addiction's been around a long time. And the addictive substance, that's not really the issue when it comes to addiction. We spent a couple of days interviewing a former White House drug czar. His name's Dr. Robert DuPont. And there's a couple of stories in our addiction recovery series that feature him talking about addiction. We interviewed him for 2 days. He is sharp, and he was the uh, White House drug czar under Nixon and Ford. So not only is he sharp, but he is old. Oh my gosh! But what that means is he's got no filter. He just tells it like it is. He's got no job to protect. He is there. He is at the top of his game. Very sharp guy. And what he said is there is a lot more wrong with an addict than being addicted to drugs. And there is a lot more right with someone in recovery than that they're not using drugs. It doesn't matter what drugs or alcohol. Glenn, you're in a unique position having interviewed so many moms. I've witnessed a lot of drama and nastiness, and I just don't understand it. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I don't know how best to address that. I suppose I could just be a dude and say, yeah, that's what chicks do. But it's not that. There's an understandable anger, I think, in most bereaved parents. There's this understandable, deep anger at something that they can't quite wrap their heads around. Like, how can it really happen that, that you lose a child? Tara, we humans are so complicated, that's for sure. My son is a victim to this government and a victim to a cruel society that some keep supporting. We can't break the stigma. We have to support the ones, promote the stigma. We can't break the stigma when we support the ones, promote the stigma. We have to be strong. Yeah, the drugs are interview. It is. We have two edited short stories out of the interview so far. If you'd like to email me, I can send you a link to watch the whole raw interview. Shaolin Hall. Tara, I'm here for you. Good job, folks. Oh, herd deflection. Yeah, I think that's it. Brad's asking, when do we plan on coming back to Oklahoma? Uh, have you ever heard that, that Texas has a great debt to Oklahoma? Brad, you heard that? The only reason Texas doesn't slide off into the Gulf of Mexico or the Gulf of America, the only reason that Texas doesn't slide off into the Gulf is because Oklahoma sucks. But I don't think that we'll probably be back in Oklahoma sometime this year. We don't have any plans right now. Right now, the next trips are it starts next week, and I'll be going to Pensacola, Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, and Cocoa Beach, Florida. And not long after that, I believe we'll be going to Massachusetts, maybe Detroit, and maybe Colorado, which brings up something I wanted to ask you guys. One thing that's pretty common is we hear a lot from people who jump to the defense of marijuana whenever it is attacked in one of our stories. Whenever it's called a gateway drug, whenever somebody says it was laced with fentanyl, things like that. A lot of our viewers, a lot of our viewers will jump to the defense of marijuana, and more power to them. Okay, here's the thing that I've also, hmm, here's the thing I've also noticed is that when they jump to the defense of marijuana like that, their comments are more likely to contain misspelled words. Kind of weird, right? Anyway, Well, I heard a story from a bereaved parent who talked about how she was talking to an elected someone in an elected office, maybe city government, maybe state government. I don't really remember, but she was talking about how uh, the bereaved parent offered this city official some sort of awareness kit that the city official could take home and share with her kids to protect them, to make them more aware of the dangers of fentanyl. And the city official said, "Oh no, I don't need that. I talk to my kids." That's that is fatal, dangerous kind of thinking, and pretty dangerous thing to say to a parent as well. Mods and chat, Nuck Sandwich, good to join us. Nichols, you emailed me. You did. Did I respond? I hope I responded. I remember the email or the message or something. Texas and Oklahoma arguing over the Red River lasted 110 years. Not 110 years, really. Wow. Yes, Pat, there are a lot of hurt people out there, and somehow empathy has fallen by the wayside. Like, like one person or group being comforted makes it. Okay, here's the thing about empathy falling by the wayside. There's a lot of empathy here. So, yeah, in some public environments, in the media, sometimes it's going to seem like empathy falls by the wayside, but it really doesn't. It's just not. There's no story there. It's not juicy. All right. So anyway, let me see what I've missed here. Very proud of each one of you for holy cow. Yeah, yeah. There's so many people in this group that are in recovery that are supporting each other. Uh, yeah, it's really awesome. So let me catch up. So I hope I haven't upset uh, Brad with the whole. Yes, yes, Carly. Yes, I'm always glad to help spread awareness about Rain's Law. What would be good? We could do a like a podcast thing. Yeah, we had talked about that in some text messages. Was that yesterday morning? And yeah, I think that we should do we should do something. I'm still working out how best to do like a two window live thing, or we can pre-record something where we do like a Zoom meeting, kind of like the Fentanyl Father stuff. We record it and we just talk about Rain's Law and include specifically email addresses and phone numbers for senators who need to be reminded about how important it is and to vote for it. We can certainly do that. And you guys, holy cow, you guys got to remember, I can only read so fast. I went to Pasadena schools, so I can only read so fast. So if something gets by me, just repeat the question. Please repeat the question because I'm not ignoring it. So I'm just because these groups are supporting what's popular, not right. It's sad. I'm here for everyone. Wish I was embarrassed the same way when I started this journey. Yeah, there's always going to be some people who support what's popular instead of what's right. That's just going to happen. That's a human nature thing. That's wanting to fit in. That's peer pressure. But there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people in this little group here, right? And so, uh, Nux, Nux, you're doing so much for this channel. We appreciate all of that. That's wonderful. That's it's. Oh, oh, thank you very much. So Joshua's story really hit me. Much younger than my brother, but Joshua. There's several Joshuas on our channel. Which okay, the new Joshua. Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, members, how you guys liking the pre-watch thing? Getting to see the story before the official premiere. That seems to me like that seems like a cool way to give a little extra value to you guys, to members, and by letting you guys see the story a little bit in advance, or occasionally letting you guys see something like the domestic violence thing that's a work in progress. Thanks, Nux. I'm very grateful. I'm really just I'm blown away by it. Really, I'm very grateful. Clay, I support marijuana use for people that it truly helps, but only from dispensaries now. Yeah, or there's growing your own, I suppose. That marijuana thing, that is that is such a volatile topic. Okay. The last time I missed a live chat, you gave away like 50 memberships. Haha. Yeah, see, that's what you get for missing a live, right? I'm gonna keep coming back until I'm a winner. Taskmaster, you are a winner. You are always a winner. Oh, Brenda, you talking about the idea, the advanced screening for members? That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I like that. I like that we're doing that. It seems like a cool way to easily say thank you to members because we're really grateful for you guys. Does everyone have their gifts, their accept gifts on? Yeah, see, I didn't even know that was a thing. Accept gifts on. What does that do? I don't understand that. Yeah, yeah, I understand that. To ask, keep coming back. Pat, for some reason, I have missed every pre screening, not getting noticed. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Pat, you might have to turn the notifications on your subscription thing. I don't know. Huh. Well, Knuckles, appreciate you knowing about that. I had no idea. I have to turn notification to all. Okay. Well, there we go. That sounds easy. I don't get what this. I'm looking at a thing right here that says I could start a Q&A. And isn't that kind of what we're doing here, right? Q&A. I don't know. I don't really understand. So here's a question: is my audio level okay? Are you guys hearing me okay? There is. I can raise the level a little bit if you're not. But what do I find? Accept gifts option. Maybe Knuckles can tell you. Nicole Jordan, it's hard growing up in a world I don't fully understand, even though I'm 30, but being ADHD and having adaptive skills disorder, a lot of the times I see black and white. It's hard. Well, Nicole, yeah, there's some hard stuff, and there's also awesome rewards. Some of each, and I've often heard that you attract what you dwell on. So focus on the rewards. I know I know that sounds easier. That's easier to say than do. Totally get that. But you're in a room full of strangers that are friends. You're in a room full of strangers that are your friends. Everybody here cares about you. Everybody here cares about each other. It's a cool, dynamic, magic thing that happens here. So, Mary, you said 5 by 5 here. Here's the thing, there's this audio meter on my display, and it's got 5 dots, and these little green lights light up like 2 dots, 3 dots. It could go all the way up to 5. It looks like, but it never goes over. Hello. Yeah, it's not going over 2. So exactly, Nichols. I think yes. Knox, Brenda, we're we're all together. It's a cool thing. Don't you think? I think so. All right. While I got you guys here, next week I'm going to be on the road. I'm going to be driving to Florida, going to Pensacola, Jacksonville, and Cocoa Beach. I'm going to try to do this some kind of way while I'm on the road, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure how. Well, I'm going to try to work it out, but I may be a little bit disconnected next week. But we'll do one or two more of these before I get on the road. So look at this. We've gone almost 90 minutes here. See, Shawneen, look at that. It's beautiful. Carla, will you be seeing Megan? I don't know. I don't know. I am planning on checking in with Megan. She's more Western Florida, but I'll be relatively close when I'm in the Cocoa Beach area. So maybe I'm going to reach out to that Florida crowd and see what let's see what happens. Huh? Knuckles, you're so good. So, Carla, I don't know, maybe. But if I do, I will certainly be sending you a message, maybe a picture of us. My aunt, my dad, Brad Barron's, his sister lives in Florida. Cool. Amy, Tammy G, hospital wristband. Okay, that's a good name. Hospital wristband. Good job. Angel Taylor, Dreams in Color. Hmm. We're still sorting out the final details of the trip and where I'll be staying, but working on it. We're also looking at maybe a story about CIP. Has anybody heard of that? CIP. We got an inquiry from a group in Colorado wanting to share stories about CIP. Anybody? CIP stands for cannabis induced psychosis. And evidently that's a thing. Am I? Okay. Anyway, before we wrap it up at the 90-minute mark, just about, I wanted to ask if there's anybody else who has any questions before I go. Uh, all I ask is if you're gifted a membership to come out of the bushes and hang out. Knuckles, that is so brilliant. That's good. That's good. Like you emailed me, right? Knuckles? Huh. Did you email me? Did you? You messaged me some kind of way. I feel I feel sure, right? I don't know. I don't see it. No, thank you. My psychosis during detox was enough for my lifetime. Good answer. Yeah. Who wants that? Tom Plus, I want to ask. It's a reasonable request, Knox. Yes, it is. Yeah, yeah. That's where all the value comes from. Is from people coming out of the shadows, engaging, interacting, sharing. It's all about sharing. All of our stories are about sharing. Next, reasonable request. I think it was Venmo. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it was Venmo. But I have in my head there was a email too, but that's just me. Huh. All right, folks. So it's been 90 minutes, so it's about time to wrap it up, I believe. But I really am grateful for you guys joining us I believe that. Let me see if we got it here. That's weird. So you guys can. Uh, Crazy to think that year ago that I wanted to end everything when I was in dark places. Never knew how many people in my life that cared about me. Nicole Jordan. Yeah, people do care about you. People that don't even know you care about you. That they're out there. That there's people that are close to you, but there's also just this beautiful kind of people thing that they care about you. Sharing is caring. A burden shared is a burden halved. Very good, Brenda. D's, catching the end today. Love you, kind sir, and everyone else. Thank you, D's. I know you're busy, so I try not to email and take time from you. Really, guys, you guys are welcome to email me. I may not respond real quickly, but I probably will respond, within 12 hours. It's empty almost. Okay. So, but you guys are welcome to email me anytime about whatever. Or if you want to try to have, if you want me to go live so that we can get this group together and talk about recovery or relapse or the haters or whatever, or the mission, we can do that. uh, i'm I'm here for you guys. So, but okay, 90 minutes. See, the commercial break would help because I could have gone and gotten more coffee or water or whatever. Anyway, very grateful for you guys. Uh, Awesome to see some old friends here and new friends. And very 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 cool to see Brad here. Haven't heard from Brad in a while. Crystal Armstrong, thank you for joining us. Brenda Miller, I'm mad at myself. I have let my anemia get out of control. Not looking forward to treatments, but it's better than being fentanyl dead. How are you? Okay. Okay, Brenda, that's wow. Okay. So you got it, Brenda. You got it. You get it back under control. You press onward. Put it on your phone simultaneously and get up and not miss anything. Pat. Uh, yeah, but look at the camera. The camera on my phone. It's not the same. That would just be, that would be like one of those YouTubers who has tattoos all over his face and maybe some metal fishing tackle happening around and that kind of thing. That's not me. I don't see that happening. I'm finally getting better after my father's overdose back in June. Glad to be here. Crystal, glad for you to be here. You guys feel free really to keep in touch anytime. You can email me or whatever, and if I'm not making this happen frequently enough for you guys, you let me know and we'll sort out how to make it happen again. And we'll have some sort of solution for doing this while I'm on the road. And that's gonna be it for now, folks. I'm very grateful for you joining us. And so remember, I'm gonna switch over here and I'm gonna remind you that we have ways to keep in touch. All right. So you can email me at that email address, info@texas-pictures.com. We're also on Facebook. We're also on TikTok. And what am I forgetting? Probably some stuff. Uh, Jelly Roll. Yeah. Yeah. Would love to get an interview with Jelly Roll. Okay. So I'm gonna just come back for a minute. No, I wasn't. My point wasn't that there's anything wrong with tattoos, but it's just we're not that kind of channel. I can't see getting up and walking around holding my phone in front of me while I make my way to the kitchen to get some water or coffee or whatever. It took a screenshot. Good job, Crystal. 30 plus tattoos, but I'm a pretty all right person. Hmm. I imagine some of those tattoos have a good story. I bet. For being the 5-year old who got the real lead out of the pencils back in the early 1970s, my reward is lifelong anemia, which I deal with, but I forgot during the first months. But you're on it now. You are on it like a rat on a Cheeto. All right, folks. We are going to wrap it up here. I want to say thanks again for joining us and for doing so much to support the channel and to support the cause. And we will be back again soon with more stories. Next story is probably day after tomorrow. And we will be live again when that happens. I love the channels that walk around filming users but never stop to talk. Yeah, Brenda, it's just kind of turning them into a freak show, making them into some sort of sideshow exhibit. Well, of course, every tattoo has a story. Next, you're always making funnies. Hit those likes button. Thank you, folks. Nicole, Brenda Miller, one person in my life that likes my second mom to me when she found out I was skip meals. She talked to me. Very cool. Transitions Friday. Okay. That's right, Crystal. You're not alone. All right, guys. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap it up for now. But thank you so much for joining us. Here is our information again, email address. You can find us on Facebook. And we are also on TikTok. We have quite a few stories on TikTok. It's all the same stories that are here on YouTube. Shorter versions divided up over shorter videos, but they're all there. So please join us next time. And really, folks, I can't say it enough. Feel free to email anytime. Thanks a lot, guys. That's it for now.